Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show, episode 124. My co-host, LeVon Harvey's been a little bit behind, but joining me on today, episode 124, we got UCF activists, overall sports enthusiasts. The big one, Cameron Dinnan, has returned home. Cameron, it's good to have you on the show, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it as always. Always good to come back on the show, man. Been minutes since I talked to you, Emilio. What's going on?
Not much, man. Just excited. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about, a bunch of topics. I'm glad you're on today. We're definitely going to tackle something that we saw, that we talked about off camera, off the show, off the pod. A little bit. We're going to tackle UCF Knights. Gus Malzahn, head coach. Talking about how UCF needs to play Alabama. So we're going to tackle a little bit about that. I know how excited you are to speak about that, you big-ass homer. And we're going to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. LeVon and I and you will talk about, whatever you want to speak on. There's no scripted stuff here. It's all off the cuff. Things that you've been seeing, like, dislike, whatever it may be. Mets, Marlins, I don't care. Tampa Bay Rays, Yankees, Dodgers, whoever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's I haven't really been following sports over the last couple of days here. I've been pretty busy, but when you sent me the topics of what we were speaking about, some of the stuff that you just mentioned, I was like, that was the only things that I really followed, I really picked up on. So I'm ready to roll.
And then we have to discuss. Obviously, we got to talk about our drunk uncle. Shout out OG Shannon Sharp, and going back and forth with his little nephew Kevin Durant. It's kind of petty, to be honest with you, but we'll address it and we'll give our opinions and stuff like that. We'll have a little bit of fun with it. So let's just go right into it. Not for nothing. You and I, let's speak on it. UCF Knights, Alabama Crimson Tide. Let's go. I want to hear what you have to say. I'm not debating this. This is not a debate. Debating is dead to me. I'm not debating. You give me your opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion. You could be right. I could be right. You could be wrong. I could be wrong. So can LeVon. It doesn't matter. Just go.
All right. So the whole point of a move like this, of Gus coming out to say it, is it's all about, again, trying to build the brand and put our name out there and, be outlandish and, say some things that draw attention. That's really what this is all about. And he means it. I mean, him and our new AD, Terry Mohajir, have a different philosophy on scheduling than Danny White and Josh Heupel and Scott Frost, and mainly Danny White, our old AD that's now at AD at Tennessee. So their whole the mindset was we were only going to accept one for ones, home for homes, right? And it sounds fair. It seemed like us, we've sort of made some headway. We were ranked three years in a row, so we should expect fair compensation one for one, right? A lot of stadium revenue to go around. But now, these guys coming in, older guy, Gus Malzahn, sort of understands the lay of the land of what a team like us needs to do. So he's trying to schedule the big boys, whatever it takes, even if it's just to go there for a one-off game in their stadium. Fine, let's do it. That's the only way we can, push past that next level, go from like ranked 6 to 8 at the end of the year to, that next level, potentially get into a Final Four if you play the right teams out of conference. Your conference has a good year, right? Let's say you beat a Memphis and a Tulsa and like a Cincinnati that are ranked, whatever. So as far as the Alabama game, I know I'm rambling here, but I don't think we're going to jump in the next, let's say we both schedule in 2023, which is when these teams have an opening. I don't think we'd necessarily be ready for that. I don't know if we'd have the right personnel for something like that. But the whole point is that you need to be able to play teams like that. And the fact that our coach is saying he wouldn't back down from a challenge like that, I welcome it. I think it's awesome.
Me personally, when he said it, I thought he should have said it wearing the Nitro uniform while he's saying. He should have been in the Nitro uniform, started the press conference, took off the head and be like, "We won Alabama." That would have been fucking great. The cojones, the balls, the huevos to say that type of stuff would have been amazing.
Yeah, I know. It was he had a lot of balls saying it. It would have been just an elevated fuck you if he had the old Nitro gear on like Lee Corso. He had the shield and the sword. That would have been dope. I would have been for that. But he's an old school kind of guy. So, but I appreciate what he's trying to do. then he's right. If that's where the fans and where we want to see the team eventually go, that's some of the things you need to do. It's plain and simple.
So I'm gonna break this down, and this is just my opinion. My opinion is you respect teams like Alabama. You respect teams like Clemson. You respect those teams. There's nothing wrong with it. They're really good.
Right.
Ohio State, yes. Ohio State. You respect those teams. But once you get on the field with them, you got to be the utmost disrespectful to actually have a chance to compete or win. For example, when Ole Miss played Alabama, they were neck and neck with them, scoring nonstop, left and right, left and right, left and right. Not like it was one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the. That's what you have to do when you play Alabama, when you play Clemson, when you play Ohio State. You can respect the shit out of them, but the minute you get on the field, you have to be the most disrespectful team in the world.
Yeah, I mean, you got to play your best game flat out. And I mean, I think in 2017 and probably last year, we had the offense to be able to do something like that, but the defense was shot. So that's another reason why I'm hoping, an SEC-minded guy can come in and get the defense right. But, I mean, that's essentially what it's all about. I mean, you got to be able to keep up with these upper echelon teams, but in the second half, you see it every time. When Alabama plays like in Oklahoma or even that Ole Miss game, they tire you out. They just wear you out in the fourth quarter. So that's what these good teams are good at doing. These blue bloods.
Just to fill you in, LeVon, I know you just signed in. Appreciate you joining us on episode 124. We're talking about UCF versus Alabama. Give us your opinion on what you think. I stated that I thought Gus Malzahn should have came out of the press conference.
Give him the backstory. It's a potential.
But yeah,
because our coach Gus Malzahn, who by the way coached at Auburn for a long time, we know that. He is along with Les Miles, the only coaches that have beaten Nick Saban 3 times.
Yes.
He went like 3-6 against him, or I don't know, something like that. So to have a guy like that, I mean, I'm not saying, we're going to flat out go out there and put up a game against them, but it kind of helps us in a situation.
Go ahead, LeVon.
Yeah, I think it does definitely help you, but you also have to take into effect that Saban knows. Believe it or not, Saban steps up for certain coaches, right? We all know his ex-coaches get the work. His ex-coaches get work.
Except Ole Miss last year. Ole Miss brung the work. Lane Kiffin brung the work.
What is Ole Miss?
You know what it was? That was a fun. I remember that. I bet on that game. That was a fun game. It was like 65 to like 50. It was some highest point.
No defense.
Lane Kiffin. That's the lane train.
Yeah, and I mean, but yeah, that kept getting bombed for these long plays. You always get missed. I remember that. But you know what? I think it's up to Saban and what he's going to bring to the table in that game. And is that a lot to happen?
They're trying to make it happen, and Gus Malzahn is 100% right. He's doing the right thing, as Cam stated earlier. Before, the athletic director wanted a one-off. Not a one-off, a one-for-one. One at home, one away. Gus Malzahn's like, look, you want us to come to you? No problem. We'll come to you. Because if you think about it, in recruiting, if you could go to Alabama and put on a show, even if you lose respectfully, it's easy to recruit players to come because it's like, look, we're playing primetime teams. We're literally sticking in here. We're going to face the teams that no one wants to take on.
And as kind of like a smaller piece of it is if you go to an Alabama, right? I mean, that's still the Southeast. That's still where Gus Malzahn has recruited and wants to recruit at UCF. So to be able to go there and maybe even put up a fight and who knows, maybe even have a chance to win at the end, whatever. That's a huge piece, like you said, for potential recruits to see. I mean, it all sort of comes with the flow of it, right? You get paid as a smaller team to go to a team, a school like that. Obviously, in UCF situation, it'd be a little bit different, but you can't be afraid of going to anybody's house when you're a small team and you're trying to break into the system.
Yeah, forget the one for one. Just go in there, and again, this is also a big opportunity. If you're an actual contender, and you go into their house and with that chance, that itself is really exciting.
Any given Saturday. I mean, we set up home to home still with teams like Louisville and UNC and like Georgia Tech, like small to mid Power 5 teams. But for these bigger schools like the Floridas and Alabamas and Georgias and Ohio States, they just want you to go to their crib. There's no point in them coming down unless they want to recruit Florida.
If Alabama went to, it's called, what is it called? Spectrum Field? It's called Spectrum Stadium? What is it called?
No, it's just called, it's, the Spectrum's out now. It's just UCF.
All right, so let's just say UCF, whatever the fuck it's called right now. Who cares?
Yeah.
If Alabama Crimson Tide show up to UCF to play a game in UCF,
To the bounce house.
the bounce house. If they go over there, I want fucking Mickey Mouse. I want the Orlando Magic mascot. I want Minnie. I want Donald Duck. I want the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Pride. I want Orlando City. I want everybody in that bitch. Everybody.
The Solar Bears, which is the D-League hockey team.
Everybody. I want the G League fucking basketball team. I want the Lakeland Tropics. Bring them too. Like, I don't care.
All hands on deck.
I'll go to that game. I'll fucking go to that game. That's how bad I'll go to that game.
Everybody's kidding me.
Listen, I hope it happens. I hope it happens. Actually, Cam and I have been discussing this topic specifically for years.
Yeah,
4
so
years.
If it seems like we've been rambling on it, it's just because it's been a long time coming that we're able to put it on a screen. But it's far-fetched. The last thing I'll say on it is a guy like Saban, he doesn't go for lose-lose situations. I mean, that's what it'd be for him.
All right, so we're gonna.
Right before we move forward, I just want to do something a little fun for not just us degenerates, but for the people in Alabama. What? Mind you, Matt Jones is gone now. I'm not sure who the quarterback is for Bama. That's also
They got to just have another 5-star dude ready to go.
I know what he's gonna ask.
Is Najee still there?
No. He's going to the draft. I know what Levon's gonna ask. Go ahead, just ask it, Levon. Just go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna ask you. What do you think? Just tell me. What do you think? If it were to happen, it's far-fetched.
Minus 28 and a half.
That's a lot of points, man.
What you saying, for a matchup?
Yeah.
Because
If it's away,
it doesn't matter what you're saying for way. That's a disrespectful number. I mean, that's what they're fucking put up against like Tennessee and lower teams in the SEC.
So what, 21?
Realistically, I'm saying like 17 and a half.
Okay, I give you that.
That's honestly, that's a pretty fair number.
8.5 would probably be better for a little bit in that range, but yeah, 28. Oh God, I'm taking that quick.
At Tuscaloosa.
It depends on the year and it depends on the personnel, right? If you would have asked me in 2017 when we had our best year with Milton, it probably would have been a real shit like 7.5 on a neutral field. I'm serious about that. I'm not homering anything. That's true. That's truthful. That was a derby team.
But I want you to be a fucking homer, yo. I need you to be a homer.
I'm realistic, bro. I'm a UCF fan, but I'm a college football fan first. I always tell people that.
For me, at Alabama 24-28, at UCF minus 21, neutral site. I don't fucking know. I have no idea.
A little disrespectful, but that's fine. I know you.
So real quick, I've been working on this the whole time since the last episode. I'm trying to get this to work. Let me see if I can do it. I don't know if you guys are gonna hear it, but this is basically what I had posted earlier today. This is the theme music for Edwin Diaz, the pitcher of the New York Mets. Now, that's all I want to hear all year long. I don't want to hear anything else. Seriously. I just want to hear him coming in to that freaking Mexican techno music every freaking time to get me a W, in all honesty. I have been enjoying baseball. LeVon, I know you have been enjoying baseball. The only fucked up part is my team is getting postponed because of either COVID or fucking weather every other day. I cannot get into a rhythm to enjoy watching my Mets. Because it's either COVID is canceling my games or the weather is fucking up my games.
Or they do play, and the Mets give Jake DeGrom 0-run support like they normally do.
Oh man, that's religious.
I gotta return the disrespect in some way.
Dude, I've learned to only take Jake DeGrom minus the first five minus a half. That's it. I don't do anything else.
Yep.
Or you can bet the Marlins to blow a lead every ninth inning. That's
Yeah, but if you take the Marlins plus 1, you win.
You know what a good bet is on the DeGrom? A good bet on the DeGrom games is taking will there be a run scored in the first inning?
The answer is
no.
No. But see, the thing is,
not giving it up, and the Mets suck. The Mets bats suck. So I mean, it's going to be 0-0 every time.
But LeVon, you know this being, a degenerate, just like I am for so many years. Sometimes those things are capped. In all actuality, like they're capped. There's nothing you can do about it. Like sometimes there's only a certain amount that you can play on those no runs in the first. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was a kid that went viral because he took, between the Cincinnati Reds and the San Francisco Giants, he took no runs in the first, and he spoke to Joey Votto during batting practice, and he told Joey Votto, he said, yo, no runs in the first, I got that play, and Joey Votto ends up hitting a 2-run homer, and the guy's like, yo, what the hell did you do?
Yeah, that was a similar situation happened with your boy, what's his name? Polar Bear.
Oh, Alonso.
Well, yeah, Pete Alonso. There was a crowd noise in when he was up. I think it was like the 9th inning. He hit a walk-off home run or something. It was like a 2-run shot. I don't know what it was, but he was like the over 7.5, the over 7.5. And then right after that, Pete Alonso hit a 2-run shot, and it went up to 8 runs. So it was perfect.
LeVon, tell me more about your Miami Marlins, man. Listen, first off, I got to give them credit. Once again, we talked about it last week. Their starting pitching is very, very good. Sandy, Pablo, Nathan Hart, Rogers, like their pitching is good. Their starting pitching is good. Everything else is so wishy-washy.
Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. And I gotta give a big shout to my mom and my mom. She's a diehard. I work during the day. I work a lot of. I work hard. So in my family chat, when I see, damn it, are you kidding me? I already know. I mean, it's not about us. I see words like disgusting pop up. I can't. And as long as it's not a family emergency, I know exactly what they're talking about, and it's the Marlins bullpen.
Cam, shout out to LeVon's mom for keeping him updated.
We know you're listening.
I gotta call him sometimes. Like, is everything okay? Like, what happened? And then it'd be something like, oh no, it's the Marlins. Or I'm like, yo, can you not scare me? Every time she calls me, I think it's either the Marlins, something bad happened with my kids, or the Marlins. So Marlins it's just like, guys, my mom's getting up there in age. Mom, I love you. You're so beautiful, but please don't rush the process. You guys, man. It's been a long time.
So the team that's really been impressing me, obviously, is the Los Angeles Dodgers. It just seems like these guys can literally, their farm system, they could just bring up whoever, and these guys just come up and they produce. They have an all-star at almost every position. Clayton finally, after game 1, he threw a fucking mess in Colorado, has buckered down and shutting people down. Bauer looks like a beast. Buehler as well. They're scoring fucking 7 to 10 runs almost a game. Bellinger, Betts, Turner, Seager. It's just like...
They're having fun, man. They're having fun.
And you know what's happening? The actual opposite is happening with the evil empire over in New York. They look like, and shout out to John Boy Media, he said it best. They look like the most boringest baseball team right now in all of baseball. They look like they're playing like a bunch of individuals. The Yankees are too good of a team to be fucking playing the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to see because, I mean, the pitching hasn't been terrible, but they haven't nearly been, on pace on batting average, RBIs, anything the first 10 to 15 games of the season last year. So it's a rough start, especially after how they did. But
there's two teams like that. There's the Yankees and the Cubs. Both of those teams look like individual players playing like on a team. That's it. They don't look like they have any cohesiveness.
Right, you're right. But the Yankees had way more upside. So to see it happening from them, based on, and especially what happened last year, they returned everyone. I mean, it's weird to see the lineup.
So, LeVon, how do you fix this if you're both teams? You're the Cubs or if you're the Yankees. How do you fix this? Do you go get Joe Boo and a fucking live chicken and sacrifice the live chicken inside the dugout? Do you get the fried chicken? Like, what do you do?
Honestly, kind of go back to what you guys have been saying, you and Cam. I think it's just pressure. And it's kind of like, these seasons are super long. The Dodgers won a World Series last year. They're having fun at this point. The Yankees, all the pressure is on them. You know what I mean? The So
Who is that? Who is that? Oh, Betts. I see it. I see it.
oh yeah.
As Cam showing his Mookie Betts baseball card.
Look how much more Betts is getting. They love Betts loves LA, and LA loves Betts, man.
Yeah.
Like, real. That's a freaking beautiful relationship.
Oh, before we forget, shout out to Jackie Robinson. It is Jackie Robinson Day as we are recording this. So shout out to the great Jackie Robinson as Major League Baseball celebrates Jackie Robinson Day. All the players are wearing number 42. And if you didn't celebrate it today because you didn't play today, you're going to celebrate it tomorrow. So shout out to Jackie. Shout out to Jackie Robinson, the great Brooklyn and Los Angeles Dodger.
Great tradition of all the players wearing his number on that day. Love that. Shout out to Jackie Robinson, as Emilio said. But yeah, for these two teams to turn around, the Cubs and the Yankees, my take on it. I mean, it's kind of a game of runs, in baseball, right? It's such a long season. I mean, look how the Red Sox started out. They went 0-4, and now they're on a 9-game winning streak. So a team just like them needs to wake up and realize that they have the pieces in order to win. And you just got to flip it like a light switch. So
since we're here in South Florida, we're going to talk about a neighboring team that's more of the West Coast to us. We're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Rays. Guys, could you imagine if the Tampa Bay Rays actually had a payroll to play with? They have to be the best return on the investment in baseball history.
Yeah, they did it for cheap. And they just developed it through their farm. I mean, that's the most organic way you can build a winning team. So it's a big shout out to them.
Levon, tell me this real quick. Doesn't the Tampa Bay Rays feel like you're shopping at Marshall's or you're shopping at Ross or TJ Maxx and you find that great deal on that Nike shirt, polo shirt, whatever it is, you're like, shit, $12? Give me that shit right now.
It feels like they've been like a farm team since it's got to be at least 2 decades by now. It still feels like the Rays is their first year again. Like the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. It just feels like that. Cause it's like, who's on their team again? Oh, but they get it done. They're in the World Series. Here, they're in the World Series there. Oh, they got this player. They're always relevant some way, somehow. You might not know any of the names, but they're always
Longoria.
He's been gone. you got Kiermaier, who's probably their best player, and then obviously Rosarena and stuff like that. But I mean, Kevin Cash literally will take slap dick homie from the Sunday League and turn him into a ball player. Like seriously.
Yeah, who's that? And who's that Japanese pitcher they have?
No, he's not there. No, he's not there.
Yeah. The batter.
Yeah. You talking about the two? There's 2 of them. There's the first baseman. Yeah. I don't even know how to say his fucking name. Just call him Ryu or some shit.
Something with a Y.
I swear I reckon Dickie Matsui won like some golf tournament the other day.
I'm pretty sure he did, dude. Out there, they doing it big, not for nothing. But no, I mean, you got, like I said, you got them. You got the Padres doing well, even without Tatis. Acuna is trying his best to carry the Braves, but it's not happening. The guy's batting over 400. He leads the league in home runs. He's killing the fucking ball. If the rest of the Braves can come on board, they probably run away with the NL East. But Acuna's ready to play.
It's early.
Yeah.
They're gonna come out on top in my division, our division. When it's all said.
Fuck you. I'm just trying to give them props. I'm not conceding shit. Jacob deGrom is going to throw 101 up their ass all day long. Hit this. I'm not conceding nothing yet. The Marlins could concede if you want. I ain't conceding shit.
Yes, sir.
We just saw congratulations to Carlos Rodon, for throwing a no-hitter yesterday. He literally almost had a perfect game, but he ended up spinning a ball too much and hitting Perez on the foot, so perfect game was destroyed. So he got the no-hitter. He was actually trying to talk to Perez, like, man, come on, did that really hit you? Like,
wait, that was one play that took away a perfect game?
Yeah, the hit by pitch ends up taking away the perfect game. So
when did that happen, though? When did that happen?
Happened yesterday. Happened last night.
Oh, what inning happened?
Ninth. No, it happened in the ninth. Ninth.
Oh.
In the ninth inning. That's gross.
What do you think? I mean, no, it's still great, right?
Yeah, no, great, but a perfect game is 27 out, 27 up, 27 down. Like, you didn't, and really, nobody really had to do much. Like, you know what I'm saying? You handled your business. You know, you go home to your wife and you just sit there like this.
Yeah.
I'm that dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that dude. That's how you look at it, you know?
And the thing is, like, there's been 2 no-hitters already this year, right?
Yes, there's been 2 no-hitters.
Yeah, pretty big. Like, not even 30 of them, right? It's less than 30.
Something like that, yeah.
Number like that. What do you think about like a little topic change here? The hardest things for an individual in sports to do. And maybe it's not an individual because he had a team that was making outs behind him, right? He had a defense behind him, but a perfect game for a pitcher, batting or going 300 in bowling. And what else?
What is the question? Is what is the hardest thing to do an individual to do in sports?
Yeah, like or almost an individual because pitcher's got people behind him, like I mentioned. But what can you add to those 2 things? Pitching a perfect game, bowling a 3.
Basketball, scoring 100 points. I don't know basketball.
Nah. It would just be going like 100%.
Okay.
Past 20 shots or something. I don't know.
And every sport is gonna have to be an individual task that ends up changing or altering win or loss in the game. So for a pitcher, it's going to be bottom of the 9th, 2 outs, bases loaded, 3-2 count. You got to get this guy out, or you got to strike him out, pop up, ground out. You got to get him out some way.
I'm just thinking of what's the hardest thing to do. Like that's a situational thing. I just mean like achievement in a game.
Yeah, exactly. So, honestly, I'm not trying to be biased, but I really think a perfect game is.
No, of course, perfect game.
Bowling is not. I'll tell you right now. I respect bowlers. It's not bowling. We got amateurs out here bowling 300s. I'm gonna tell you right now, we do.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not taking bowling off the list. I respect them to death because I can't bowl for ish. Right now, I'm 110. So I'm not, but it's not bowling. So scratch that. Basketball done. I understand you mentioned over 20 shots. Guys can shoot from 15, or they can do drumming and dunk all day. So there's too many places with that, in my opinion. Baseball, basketball, football. What is it? I mean, a QB rating of. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it has to be the perfect game. It has to be the perfect game.
PBR, right? Yeah, it has to be the perfect game in baseball.
Yeah, it has to be the perfect game. The perfect game has literally you bypass so many opportunities for shit to go fucking wrong that it has to be that.
In a sport where just shit can go wrong, I mean, it's so easy for a man to get on base, a walk, a hit of the batter, like you mentioned earlier. So I guess that'd be the hardest thing in sports to do.
Absolutely. So now we're gonna discuss our last topic of the day, and I know all of you guys see it. I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but I'll be able to see it. And this is basically Kevin Durant feuds with his drunk uncle Shannon Sharp after fake quote on Undisputed. So for those people that don't know, who listen to the show, follow the show, Shannon Sharp literally went on Undisputed and started creating an hour-long monologue about how Kevin Durant said this and Kevin Durant said that. And Kevin Durant took to social media and was like, dude, I ain't never say that shit. So you literally just had a whole 30, 40, 50-minute segment on some shit that was made up. So tell me, is it getting to a point where basketball is becoming more about the drama than the actual basketball on the court?
Well, I just want to say Kevin Durant sucks. Put that out there for beginners. No, but I mean, we got drama queens / kings in the league, so that doesn't help either, right? Kevin Durant is the drama queen of the league as of right now. You got the Nets is a drama in itself, but again, people need things to talk about. I'll let Kim speak on it. I mean,
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think Kevin Durant sucks, as LeVon pointed out. Maybe his attitude sucks, and he's it's like a fucking like Gen Z. He just feels so much younger than his actual age. But I think Stephen A. said it best. He's looking for reasons to get upset, and he's looking for bulletin board material and shit to fire him up, so he does better in games, like motivation. And if you look at, if you watch The Last Dance or you're from the Michael Jordan era, then you can see, like, Jordan did it a different way, obviously, right? He just felt the disrespect. Someone said something to him, and then he just internalized it, turned it into fire or whatever. KD does it a little bit different. He does, like, the 2021 version of that, where he's popping off on Twitter and he's got more tweets this season than he does points in the NBA. I was showing Emilio that post earlier. I mean, that's a true stat right there, but that's what I think.
So for me, people gonna call me an old head. It's not enjoyable to me. Like the stories the stories that are off the court shouldn't be the headlines of the sport. For me, that's not enjoyable. It takes away from the sport, not bring more to it. And people gonna be like, you just an old head. Fuck you talking about blah blah. No, I'm not an old head. I enjoy Luka. I enjoy Ja Morant. I enjoy Zion. I enjoy Ball. I enjoy the young ones doing their thing. I'm not a hater at all. The point that I'm trying to make is I don't want to fucking hear about that shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about the TMZ shit that goes on with Kyrie and Kevin and LeBron. And I don't want to hear about none of that shit, yo. Just play basketball.
I think it's going to happen, but then it's not so much their fault. The media chooses to discuss it and they take it to another level. But that's just what it is for this day.
I understand that, basketball players and people in sports and like superstars in the game, have opinions, and everyone has opinions, and you should be able to voice those, and that's promoted. You should do that with the platform you have. But at the end of the day, just get back to the sport. Get back to what you get to what got you here. Don't let it be lopsided in the favor of sharing your opinion. Be a basketball player and also have an opinion. Don't flip around. At this point, Kevin Durant seems like the other end that he is a basketball player this year. I
think basketball does an amazing job of marketing their players. They do an amazing job marketing their players. If their players are not from Utah, because the Utah Jazz are the number one fucking team in the league, and you don't hear a fucking peep about them. There's no promotion on Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, their coach Snyder, nothing. They don't say shit.
Small market. Same reason why they're not pumping up the Phoenix Suns, and they're number 2 in the West, a game and a half back.
It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. It's retarded. It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Listen, Adam Silver, I give you praise all day long. You're an amazing commissioner. But dude, do a better job of promoting the people that deserve to be promoted. Literally go out there and show the world that, you know what, there's good basketball being played in Utah. There's good basketball being played in Phoenix. We don't have to have every freaking topic being surrounded around what's going on in Brooklyn, what's going on in LA, what's going on. Like, enough already.
Yeah,
but we need a number. We need a number, though.
Right. They're squeezing the juice. They're squeezing it dry. They're getting every last bit out of what they know works, right? The hot markets, even if their hottest player, one of their hottest players, Giannis, you barely even hear anything about the Bucks. It's something about Giannis?
Mark Cuban said something.
Look at the player, not the team.
Mark Cuban said something a couple years back when he was talking about the league itself. Or I think he was talking about, it was the NFL or some shit like that. He had a famous saying, something about, pigs can eat, but hogs get slaughtered, or some shit like that. You can't turn this thing into, it's so big where the attention that's being grabbed is almost everything negative. Everything. Shaq and Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith are criticizing the guys, and all of a sudden these guys start tweeting back at them because the old heads is getting mad at. Yo, dude, first off, show some respect, number one. These are legends. Legends!
Bro, the money, bro, I don't respect nobody. The money's different.
It's all a game, like Lavon was saying earlier. It's for ratings, it's money. Like, that's what moves the needle, negative and controversy and a back and forth and a debate, and that's what does it. They're not gonna, if they all just show love and tribute, that's not gonna do anything. Everyone's just gonna be like, all right, switch the channel.
LeVon, me and you spoke about this last episode. Sports debating is dead. I ain't fucking talking about that shit on this show. Real talk. So look, we only got a minute left. In all honesty, I appreciate you guys coming on. Everybody, make sure you click like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. The engagement on social media has been tremendous. We are growing slowly but surely, but we are growing. It's going in the right direction. I try to respond to everybody as much as possible, but please forgive me if I don't. And make sure you check us out, episode 125 next week. And click like, subscribe on all podcast platforms. Guys, I'll check you guys out next week. Appreciate it, guys.
No.